These are trailers hand-selected by me and the community. So don't for a second think just because they're budget or just because they're lightweight means they're cheap and junk. These are trailers that when people reach out to me, I often say, regardless of money, some of these trailers you're going to see today, they're in my top 3 trailers of all time. Let's talk about the road-towed camper. Now this camper is made by Camp In, and those of you who know, they've been in the industry probably longer than anyone else. They're building traditional trailers with wood and aluminum and steel chassis. Well, they sat down and they said, how could we bring a trailer to market that's not only budget, affordable for the masses, but also can be towed by almost any tow vehicle, meaning lightweight. And that's how they landed on composite materials like this bean trailer back here. While the bean trailer behind me has no seams, so no water can get in at all, the road tow does have seams, but even if the water was to get in, you just brush it out, because with composite materials there's no rot, no delamination. So a typical traditional trailer, your biggest fear is water. With a trailer like the road towed, that's something you don't have to think about at all. I did just mention that the bean trailer has no seams, so that gives it an advantage over the road towed, but it also costs a lot more money, and this trailer right here probably weighs around 1,800 pounds. The road towed, because of the composite materials and the simple build, weighs only 400 pounds. So how much more affordable is the road towed? The road towed not only is more affordable than this, it's actually 3 times less in terms of price than any other composite teardrop trailer on the market. Well, that's not entirely true. You just had Bean Trailer put out their Beanstalk 2.0. This is about double the price of a road towed, but technically, being it doesn't have a galley, can we call it a teardrop trailer? You also have Tiny Camper Company. They've always been known as the lowest priced teardrop and squardrop in the country, and just recently they also made the shift over to using composite materials. So that might be a company worth looking into as well. I'm going to circle back again to Camp In. Because road towed's made by them, we're talking 20 years on the road of making mistakes, of fixing things, of getting it right. They know a lot about teardrop trailers. They have a huge owners community in the forums, from campouts to rallies. There isn't many trailers that have been on the road this long. Many of you are aware the road towed went up by like $2,000 to $3,000 since we first made our original video on it. And people ask me if I still think it's a value, and absolutely. Due to the materials used and the number of trailers they are producing, you would be hard-pressed to find a better bang for your buck than a hiker trailer. And this is because they're making trailers at scale with affordable materials: wood, aluminum, and steel. With this formula, it totally makes sense why they are the king of the budget small camper trailer. Another thing I've noticed about hiker trailer, they have really good resale value. And why I think that is because they've become known in the industry as a household name. You can build their base model, and then as your income grows or your budget grows or your needs grow, you can go back to hiker and they will add on those additional components. That's something I don't see in the industry. People tend to streamline their process, and they don't want you coming back in that door. Hiker welcomes that opportunity, and that's something I really value of them. Hiker has a huge, vibrant community. If you go online, when you take blogs and videos about dedicated hiker topics, you're going to find thousands. I mean, you're not going to find that with any other trailer. And then you have their owner group forums and their rallies. And if you get a hiker, you're not going to have a shortage of information on how to modify the trailer, how to fix things, how to maintain things. And that in itself is a pretty invaluable resource. And speaking of trailer owners, if you haven't met Matt and Wendy of MWD Adventures, my whole goal with the channel is finding the experts in the industry and pointing people to them. Yep. They have an entire channel devoted to the hiker trailer. You're going to see this with other camper companies. They'll get an enthusiastic owner, they'll make a few videos, but they eventually taper off. Matt and Wendy have tirelessly put out content for you guys, worked hard, and I think they'll continue to keep doing it, and so that in itself is a huge resource. Runaway Campers is one of my all-time favorite companies, and when you first look at them, they're going to look very similar to a hiker. But just notice, if you take a little bit closer look, not too long ago, they were doing what Hiker was doing, traditional construction with affordable materials. And then they made that shift maybe 2 years ago, maybe 3, to composite materials. And like I mentioned, that means their trailers have gotten lighter and they have become impervious to water. Next is the business model. They have a model I absolutely love. It's got that nice ma and pa small camper trailer company feel, but they also wear their beliefs on their sleeves. You'll see on their website their Christian values, and I think they walk the walk.
I talk the talk and I walk the walk, baby.
Oh, I almost forgot. One of the things I love about Runaway is that they make a 6-foot wide version. So this means you can put a regular sized teardrop bed in there and have an extra foot of space for essentially a mudroom, taking off your shoes, setting your CPAP machine, putting a glass of water at night. This is a huge benefit, and I find it really doesn't take away from the towing experience. And similar to Hiker, there's a Runaway channel. Well, sort of. And that's Charles Moman's channel. I'll link it in the description.
What's the best modification or addition we've done to our Runaway?
He is not posting as much about Runaways now because he's on a van build, but if you go back into his archive, he has hundreds of videos on modifications to the Runaway, again, the rallies and maintenance and just everything Runaway. So also a benefit to just have one guy who's devoted so much of his time to make great videos for you. And on that note, if you just want to see the Runaway lifestyle, what it's like to live in one, to camp in one, to bring a dog with you, check out Hanging with Herky.
Stickers tell a story, and we have a story to tell, one sticker at a time.
I'll put that link in the description as well. The next one is We Roll Trailers. Now, of all the companies on this video, this is the one I'm the least familiar with. But I love their layouts, and I especially love their prices. These are converted cargo trailers, and these are trailers owned by many people in the Playing with Sticks community, and I haven't heard anything negative about them. I send a lot of people their way because I think they're great for people who need a trailer they can stand up in, need a bit more accessibility, and a trailer that kind of does it all. I think your response to our Ben Teardrop trailer video was very telling about this build. Now, they have a very pared down design, and I thought with all the new bells and whistles and the space race of the small camper industry, I thought you guys may not be interested in their trailer, and boy was I wrong. You guys were screaming for more information, and you felt the same way about this trailer as I did. You loved the less is more approach, and I think it's a great business model. Focusing on the needs, not the wants, and then pairing that with a good price, this one is hard to beat. Another thing I love about Ben is the use of wood throughout their trailer. If you like a teardrop that feels like a cabin on wheels, this might be the teardrop for you.
Probably don't see too many 6x12s.
I love how Ben went outside the mold of the teardrop industry and built the 6x12 teardrop. Now, when I first saw it, I'll just say I thought it looked a little ridiculous, and like many things on this channel, I was wrong. I got there and I saw the beauty of this. Not only did it increase the overall space, the living space, it allowed for a king bed, and then above that bed, instead of a single bunk, it's a double bunk. So not only do you have the adult sleeping space, you can even let your adult friends sleep in that additional standard sized bed. And it's perfect for kids because you can allow them to grow into this trailer and not have to upgrade into something else. Now, if you feel the 6x12 is just a little too long, remember they also make a family sized 5x10 with a bunk and a traditional 5x8 as well. Who is TC Teardrops? This is the question I kept asking my wife May. It just seemed like they came out of nowhere. But now I know why people like them, and it's because they've dialed in a trailer because they didn't come out of nowhere. They've been doing this for about 15 years. When you're making a trailer for 15 years and you can survive the ups and downs of the economy, it says you're doing something right. I think TC Teardrops, just like Camp Inn, has people buying their teardrops not only for the quality of the build and the price, but for the community and because they believe in the owners. TC stands for Todd and Carol, and Todd and Carol have built this vibrant community that people want to be a part of. Todd and Carol live the life. They're in that teardrop a large portion of the summer. They're teardrop fanatics and they're selling teardrops. If you like a warm wood cabin and galley, TC again is going to be your type of trailer. Now, don't take the pictures on the internet for what it is. When I first saw it, it looked sort of builder's quality and rough finishing, but once you see it in real life, no, it's not this beautiful piece of art. It's designed to live more like a cabin, but the finishings are clean. The layout of the galley is so uniquely configured and makes so much sense. You just have to see one in person. This would not be playing with sticks if I didn't share a DIY trailer, meaning building it yourself. Our first Teardrop trailer was a 4x8 home-built trailer, and it served our family well. I have a video in the description of Mark, and he's over at Overland Trailer, and I think he's a great resource for you to check out. He's going to walk you through why you may want to build your own trailer, and then if it piques your interest, head over to his website. He has kits, he has all the parts, the plans. Essentially, he's one of the resources that can walk you through this. And if you want to just go totally solo, you can go to the forums, TTNT. You will find a ton of owners and a ton of community that will help you through the process. We've done walkthroughs of every single one of these trailers you've seen, so if you want a detailed walkthrough and to get to know the owners and to know more about them, check out the links in the description below. I think it's really going to help you. And as usual, stay safe out there on the road, and we'll see you in the next episode.